Welcome to KZGN-TV News with stories on state, county, national, and local news. I'm Tanya Pyle. Thank you for tuning in.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyo Kern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
We'll start with an update on the Sherpa Fire. Paul Clementi at the Joint Information Center told KZGN as of today, the fire has burned 7,898 acres. 270 structures remain under threat. One small water treatment building burned at El Capitan State Beach. The fire has been fought with 14 dozers, 129 engines, 27 water tenders, 49 hand crews, and air support, including 17 helicopters, 4 air tankers, and 1 big DC-10 used to drop chemical retardant. Wind, heat, and low humidity have all factored into the fire, with nightly winds fueling canyon areas. Clementi said the unfavorable strong winds mellowed from when the fire first started Wednesday, the 15th at 3 p.m., threatening hundreds of homes and popular seaside campgrounds near Santa Barbara. The wildfire ballooned into Los Padres National Forest, where nearly 1,200 acres have burned. By Friday, the fire was to 7,063 acres in size, now 54% contained. Cause of the fire remains under investigation, Clementi told us this morning. Meanwhile, a small but dangerous brush fire threatened the densely populated hilly Silver Lake neighborhood in Los Angeles. It damaged 2 homes, destroyed 3 shed-like structures, scorched yards, and sent trees up in flames along an 8-acre stretch near the intersection of the 2 and 5 freeways. Another wildfire broke out Sunday in the California desert near the Mexico border, near the town of Potrero, a ranching community a few miles north of Tecate, Mexico, about 45 miles southeast of San Diego. Budget news out of Sacramento. Assemblywoman Shannon Grove joined her Republican colleagues to oppose passage of the 2016-17 state budget this week because of what she called reckless spending. State revenue projections were down $154 million. The budget approved by Democrat legislators will increase spending by $7 billion. Grove and other Republicans believe the state should prepare for the projected economic downturn, spending less and saving more, combined with investing in critical transportation needs. Democrats at the Capitol continue their irresponsible spending habits despite warnings of a coming economic downturn, said Assemblywoman Shannon Grove. They're failing to save for the future and deal with the state's crumbling transportation infrastructure as promised. Instead, they continue to waste taxpayer money. A recent fiscal stress test by Moody's credit rating service found California one of the least prepared states to weather the next recession. The state controller also announced last week a downturn in state revenue projections from $154 million in May to what the governor projected. Governor Brown himself said the state could lose $54 billion in revenue over a 3-year period during a moderate economic downturn. High-speed rail spending continues unabated despite the fact a recent cap-and-trade auction funding the project only collected $10 million, an amount way under anticipated projections. Grove reported further the state budget also wastefully increases spending at the Sonoma Development Center by $32.4 million after the Federal Department of Health and Human Services decided to withdraw support for the center due to, quote, deficiencies posing immediate jeopardy to the health and safety of SDC's clients. Instead of closing the center immediately to protect the vulnerable, disabled residents, this year's budget drags out its planned closure and sets aside an additional $14 million for, quote, retention bonuses for state workers. These bonuses are for workers willing to stay at any of the 3 state developmental centers slated for closure over the next few years. Instead of such wasteful spending, Grove believes California should prepare for economic downturn. According to the Department of Finance, the budget sets the state up for a $4.1 billion deficit by the 2019-20 budget years. Grove also called out the majority party as failing to make virtually any new investments in transportation infrastructure. Although saying transportation is their highest priority, the administration is moving to cut more than $750 million from transportation projects over the next 5 years. She reported the governor as also continuing to demand Californians pay a $1 billion gas tax increase and a $2 billion vehicle registration increase to fix our roads, something Republicans have been successful at stopping. Kern County business owners will voice concerns about lawsuit abuse at the upcoming Small Business Summit featuring Assemblywoman Shannon Grove. The summit will showcase how lawsuit abuse hurts job creation and impacts local economies. It's sponsored by California Citizens Against Lawsuit Abuse. Assemblywoman Shannon Grove is to receive a California Champion Against Lawsuit Abuse Award. The Bakersfield area has been a target of private Attorney General Act lawsuits where business owners are sued over minor technical violations that become class action lawsuits. This new type of legal extortion is taking a big toll on the area, forcing businesses to spend thousands or even millions of dollars to settle the case, costing jobs, forcing businesses to permanently close. Others have filed bankruptcy and laid off workers or even taken their businesses and jobs, such as B&L Casing, to Texas. Join Assemblywoman Shannon Grove, Greg Gutierrez of Truett Oilfield Maintenance, Bakersfield, Brian Jenkins and Larry Jenkins of B&L Casing, Brett Kingberry of KS Industries, Todd Yeppe of PCL Industrial Services, small business owners from the Bakersfield region, Ken Barnes, Executive Director of California Citizens Against Lawsuit Abuse, and Mary Ann Marino, Regional Director of California Citizens Against Lawsuit Abuse at the Petroleum Club, 5060 California Avenue, 12th floor in Bakersfield, June 24th at 11:30 a.m. to examine why over 100 PAGA lawsuits have been filed against Kern County business owners alone, and where more than 30,000 PAGA lawsuits statewide since 2010, according to Assemblywoman Shannon Grove. According to Chief Executive Magazine, California continues to rank dead last as the worst state for business more than 11 years in a row. Ridgecrest Republican Women Federated guest speaker at their luncheon Friday was Tim Taser, who spoke on his 10 years living in China. He began by saying, "I haven't been here since Ronald Reagan, and with the internet and cell phones," he said, "it's changed." He went into his experience in China with the take-home message being, "It's broken. China is broken," he told KZGN. He attributed their current condition to the communist 1949 victory in China. Taser contrasted the United States with China, saying, "We are fairly used to influencing smaller countries through trade, sheer size, or financial wherewithal with our political, ethical, and moral station in the world. Although the size of the U.S. geographically compares with China," Taser said, "it is a different animal." He continued, "They're 5 times our population and a force the current generation will have to reckon." He said, "China not only has a very large military, they have exceptional commercial production capacity. We need to be aware," and he added, "it would behoove us to be insightful, but expressed concerns D.C. isn't listening or taking advice." Taser compared China's rocket fuel economy, the second largest in the world growth, to the U.S., saying China is $24 trillion in debt compared to our U.S. $19 trillion debt, and said China has built cities where no one resides, built 2 soccer stadiums with no soccer teams, and high-rise apartment complexes standing completely dark. No one lives there. With no environmental protection agency, Taser told of water unfit to drink, food unfit to eat, and air unfit to breathe. He described China as a one-party communist government where cash is king. Taser's father served in the Navy Criminal Investigative Service. Taser graduated high school in Italy, got his Associate of Arts degree in Germany, has traveled 26 countries so far, and for the Japanese Ministry of Education, Taser published a 6-book English second language series titled Let's Enjoy English. Presently, Taser teaches at Emmanuel Christian School. His wife, Anna, has an education consulting business assisting Chinese students with their upper education in the United States. Kern County Library Summer Reading Challenge is on. This year, the theme is Read for the Win. This year, it's designed to incorporate physical activity along with the mental activity of reading, suitable with the Olympics. Carissa Wagner, acting supervisor at our Ridgecrest branch, said online sign-up is available at kclsummerchallenge.org, where readers can sign up and log their books to earn points. There are also some extras available with the online system points for doing certain activities and badges for attending various activities with a secret code. Readers of all ages can participate. Kids, teens, and adults can read 10 books at their level to be a, quote, finisher. Early readers are through age 4. Those are ones not quite reading yet, can be read too. Kids are between ages 5 and 12. Teens are between ages 13 and 18. Adults are age over 18. Paper, audio, and ebooks count. Once the 10 books are read, the person is a, quote, finisher and can come to the library to choose a free book provided by the Friends of the Kern County Library, Inc. They will receive a finisher bag with some coupons for local places. Teen and adult finishers are placed into a drawing for prizes. Once the initial 10 books are read, all readers can continue reading to be a, quote, bonus finisher and go into a drawing for some other prizes. Our Ridgecrest Branch Library put together an extra challenge for decathlon readers who wish to participate from all age group readers. There are 12 categories of books. The reader will choose 10 of the categories and list the book title. Once done, they're entered into a special drawing for just the decathlon finishers. This summer, an outreach location will extend to Inyo Kern Elementary School. Their program runs every Wednesday from 9:30 a.m. to 12 noon at Inyo Kern Elementary School Library. The reading program kicked off with 38 kids so far. Their program will incorporate crafts and story time like last summer, with an additional 2 performances of The Magic of Christopher Lopez and the Jazz Trio. Current sponsors includes Friends of the Kern County Library, Friends of the Ridgecrest Branch Library, Pizza Factory, McDonald's, Baskin-Robbins, Jack in the Box, Albertsons, City of Ridgecrest Parks and Recreation, Little Caesars, Indian Wells Brewery, High Desert Fitness, Red Rock Books, Pure Healing Foods, Bear Hugs, Matarango Museum, Just Imagine, and Roaming Dog Kitchen. A huge thank you was extended to Evan Etok Memorial Foundation, who is sponsoring the Stuntmasters BMX show. Presently, the library is still seeking sponsors. Things are looking up as many stargazers took opportunity to recently view the cloudy band of the Milky Way. Today is the first day of the summer solstice. It has been 70 years since the event coincided with a full moon, but the local Astronomical Society and amateur astronomer Roger Brower said, Although the event is rare, there really isn't much to see, although it's known as the Grand Dame of Days because it's longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, it's the opposite, being the shortest day of the year. A full moon and summer solstice together is a rarity, Brower said. Around 3:30 today is the very moment when essentially the sun will stand still and its northernmost point. It waits at the Tropic of Cancer before switching directions and heading south again. Solstice comes from the Latin word solstitium, sol meaning sun, and stitium meaning to stop. Brower announced the Astronomical Society will have another stargazing party around the 1st of July. He said they usually have it Friday closest near the new moon. But this July it occurs on a Monday, so they're deciding whether to have it the Friday prior or the Friday after. KZGN will let you know as soon as their decision is announced. According to the Farmer's Almanac, Native American tribes named each full moon and described a year as 12 moons. Some tribes added a 13th moon every few years, presumably to keep up with the blue moon that occurs on occasion. Not all tribes used the same names for their moons, but there was a lot of crossover. But the June moon is known universally among the tribes as the strawberry moon. January was the full wolf moon, February full snow moon, March full worm moon, when earthworm casts begin to appear. April is full pink moon, May is full flower moon, sometimes full corn moon or full milk moon. July is full buck moon or full thunder moon, when midsummer is given to thunderstorms. August is the full sturgeon moon or green corn moon. September is full corn moon. October, hunter's moon. November, full beaver moon, sometimes full frosty moon. And finally, December, full cold moon. So there you have some of the more common full moon names given by Native American tribes. Now let's get straight to comparing those gas prices for Ridgecrest and some surrounding areas. We'll start with Bishop. Their low came in at $2.79 per gallon, with their high sitting at $3.09. LA Valley lowest gas price is $2.59, topping off at $3.33 per gallon. The Lancaster low sits at $2.57 per gallon, with their highest gas price tied with Bishop at $3.09 per gallon. Ridgecrest has 3 stations tied with the Lancaster low at $2.50 per gallon. Their highest gas price came in at $2.99 per gallon, putting Ridgecrest in the winning for the lowest gas prices once again. Stay tuned for weather and sports when we come back. Thanks for staying with us. Let's go to Lane for the weather.
Thank you, Tanya. From the National Weather Service, record-breaking dangerous heat will continue on Monday in parts of the southwestern U.S., especially in the deserts, where temperatures of 120 degrees will be possible early this week. Excessive heat warnings and heat advisories are in effect across Southern California, Southern Nevada, and Southern Arizona. These extreme temperatures can be life-threatening. Temperatures across the nation: Carolinas at 84, Georgia at 84, Arkansas at 89, Northern Texas at 86, Arizona at 105, and Los Angeles at 80. And for us locally, tonight, clear with a low around 80, west wind 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 113, southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday night, partly cloudy with a low around 81, west-southwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high near 111, west-southwest wind 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 15. Wednesday night, mostly clear with a low around 78, west wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 25. Thursday, sunny with a high near 108, west wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday night, mostly clear with a low around 77. West wind 5 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. And Friday, sunny with a high near 108. West wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. And that is your forecast for the IWV. Now back to Tanya.
Thanks, Lane. Now to Tom Heck for sports.
And a very pleasant early Monday evening to everyone. Well, the NBA Finals are finally over. Well, a couple things happened. Number one, we had a great game, a close game, 93-89. Of the 7 games, the only game that was within really 15, 20 points. It was a great game to the end. Cleveland played great defense. Golden State didn't score the last 4 minutes and 30 seconds. When, in fact, with 4:30 to go, the game was tied at 89. Final score 93-89. LeBron James, MVP, played absolutely fantastic games 5, 6, and 7. And again, another record, the first team ever to be down 3-1 in the series. They come back and win. And they win on somebody else's floor, and that has only happened 4 times of 19 tries for Game 7 for a visiting team to win. So a lot of unbelievable stuff. Compile that with Golden State only had 3 losses at home all season long. And you kept Curry, and also in the fourth quarter, Curry only scored 4 points. It was just a great shutdown. I don't know what more we can say. Congratulations to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Boy, what a Game 7 that was. Tyronn Lue, the head coach of Cleveland, deserves some props. He was a first-year coach this year. Did a great job, I thought, of mixing up his personnel in that fourth quarter. He had a lot of people with fresh feet. Give Kevin Love credit. They had a lot of criticism about Kevin Love, but he sure did play well. Kyrie Irving played fantastic. Hit a big 3 down the stretch to break that tie. And boy, an exciting game it was. All right, let's talk about the U.S. Open. Dustin Johnson gets a win there in the 56th U.S. Open held in Pennsylvania this year. In the Copa America Soccer Championships, it'll be U.S. and Argentina semifinals. And if you haven't heard of Copa America and you haven't seen some of the matches, look at the fantastic crowds that surround that tournament. It's unbelievable how many people internationally and even in the U.S. are getting into soccer. All right, College World Series. If you like the underdog, you're going to like this year what's going on over in Omaha. Number 1 team in all the land, Florida, beaten by Coastal Carolina 2-1 yesterday. Arizona, who wasn't supposed to be in the College World Series this year, the number 3 team in the Pacific 12 division, beats Miami 5-1. Go figure all this out. UC Santa Barbara, who wasn't supposed to be there either, out of the Big West, only 2 teams from the state of California that got in the College World Series. They played very good against Oklahoma State, but they lost in the 9th inning, 1-0 in that game. Also, Texas Tech, number 5 team in the land, gets beat by TCU, a 3-run homer by Luke Baker in the 9th inning. All right, today in Omaha, it'll be UC Santa Barbara against Miami, elimination game. Go Gauchos. All right, let's talk about Major League Baseball. The Angels win 2 or 3 from Oakland. They're still 13.5 back. They opened a 3-game series tonight in Houston. Texas sweeps the Cardinals in St. Louis, so the Rangers have a 13.5 game lead over the Angels. Seattle loses 2 or 3 of Boston. Seattle now 6 games behind in second place. Atlanta, the Braves, a team that had been buried in the cellar the last 2 years on a 5-game winning streak. They sweep the Mets, of all people, in Atlanta. And the Giants sweep the Rays. The Giants now have won 12 of 15 games. They lead the Dodgers by 6.5, who beat Milwaukee yesterday 2-1. Now the Dodgers currently 6.5 games back. All right, the White Sox flounder again. They're struggling. They lose 3 of 4 in Cleveland. And that would be your sports on this Monday. I'm Tom Heck for KZGN.
Thank you for joining us today. For KZGN-TV News, the only station committed to Ridgecrest, China Lake, and the Indian Wells Valley News.